Welcome to part 2 of Overrated Underrated. This segment includes the top 5 most overrated players for the 2024 NHL Draft. Let's jump right into it. At the number 5 spot, we have from St. Andrews College, Dean Letourneau. And I get it. 6'7", 209, a massive frame. I mean, the problems that I have with him is he didn't really play versus top competition. I mean, the U18s, the prep league just is not a really competitive league for a guy who is projected to go in the first round, and I just think there's just too many question marks with him. I mean, like, because he played 2 games in the USHL, he looked okay. He didn't look great. I mean, and I can just see that he's very raw, and it's gonna take him a while to reach his full potential. And for Dean, it's just like I wouldn't necessarily gamble on a first round pick on a guy who you know pretty much nothing about, and it's pretty much he could turn into literally anything at this point. And I just don't think it's worth the risk, in my opinion. But I could be wrong. At the number 4 slot, I have. Oops. From the Prince Albert Raiders, Ryder Ritchie. And I think he's a solid player, solid shot, got a, got a pretty solid shot, and I think he's got some decent edge to him. I mean, the physical play is definitely pretty solid, but the problems that I have with him is his production and his lack and the consistency that he provides. The consistency was a real struggle. I mean, he wasn't even a point per game this year after winning Rookie of the Year last year in the WHL, and I just think that's a really big problem that teams need to discuss because um, Ryder he's definitely talented and the potential I can see the potential there, but he's just not taking those next big steps as you want him to, and his hands are really not great for what he's built for, what he's really made for, and the skating really isn't there. So there's definitely some holes to his game that eventually I think he'll overcome, but as of now, it's just a pretty big risk to take him in the first round. At the number 3 slot, I have Tariq Periskak out of the Prince George Cougars. And this guy won Rookie of the Year in the WHL, was absolutely phenomenal in terms of racking up points. But the problems, however, it would be the skating. I mean, definitely got a really weird stride to him. I mean, his hands aren't the greatest, but he definitely is a threat when the puck's on his stick because he can really rip the puck. But I mean, it's just there's just a lot. He's very raw, and I just really think that he's kind of one dimensional with his shot. But everything else is just like he's small. At the next level, he's really gonna find himself probably in a bottom 6 role, and that's not really where he's gonna thrive, considering that he just really doesn't have the physicality or the frame to really be in that role. So I just really don't think he'll find a role in the NHL after being just having a wonderful season in the WHL. At the number 2 slot, I have Aaron Kibiharju out of the Liga. And this is definitely one of the most risky picks. Number 2 and number 1 are very similar in very similar situations, but Aaron Kibiharju is number 2 because I mean, there's just again too many question marks to his game. I mean, he really hasn't progressed as long as people have imagined, and people still think the potential is there because we heard his name a couple of years ago, and he's just a name that everybody's been hearing about, so they believe in him. But I really think people have to stop with that. I mean, 5'10", 165, he can't defend well. The physical play is absolutely atrocious, and he really isn't that great of a skater. I mean, the edge work's pretty solid, but his straight speed is just not great, and his shot's not great either. It's awful. But I do have to say he's got some pretty nice hands and the passing is definitely there, but there's just too many holes to his game to really put him in the first round, and I just really don't understand why people are really still giving him a chance, considering that he got hurt the whole year, and even the games he did play, he looked awful. At the number 1 slot, I have Adam Juracek. This is a very similar situation with Kiviharju for getting injured the whole year, but this is a little bit of a different case because he has the tools. The skating game is, I really love the skating. I mean, his edge work is phenomenal. The shot's really good too, but it's the decision making. The under pressure, he definitely makes some terrible decisions, and he'll eventually overcome it by continue to play in Czechia next year, and hopefully he heals up from that knee injury. But I definitely think he's going to overcome all those issues and become hopefully a pretty solid, maybe third line, second line deep pair in the future. But as of now, there's just so many question marks with him. Him playing 19 games this year, only racking up 1 point, and really not looking great defensively, and looking like a liability in his own zone. And I really don't think that's the case for teams to take a chance on in the first round. And that's going to conclude it for this segment of Overrated, Underrated. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and drop a comment on who you think should be on the list, who shouldn't be on this list, and draft hockey content will be out every single day until the draft. The next video is going to be the top 5 shooters for the 2024 NHL draft. Peace.